Welcome. This is Callie Carroll, and you're listening to a special series where we're diving into Rhonda Byrne's book, The Magic, taking 28 days to have intentional gratitude to see how our lives can change. It is a part of Good Morning Sunshines where we wake up to see that perspective reveals miracles. And guys, I'm telling you, gratitude can change your world. Let's get started. Well, good morning, sunshines. Hello. How are we doing? I hope you're doing magical. We're on our 21st practice of the magic. And I think most of you guys are starting to see the positive effects that this practice has. If you've been listening along, if you've been following along, if you haven't, shoot on back to the first episode. We do a couple pre episodes, then we go through these 28 practices of intentional gratitude, seeing how we get to choose joy in our lives. And today is going to be fun because there are certain things occurring or that are going to occur in your world that you might be a little nervous about what the outcome is going to be. And we're going to go through magical outcomes. Magical outcomes. But first, I want to start with this quote because it's great. It's just a great reminder for everything we've been doing so far. It's from G.K. Chesterton, who's a writer. And he says, "You say grace before meals. All right. But I say grace before the concert and the opera, and grace before the play and the pantomime, and grace before I open a book, and grace before sketching, painting, swimming, fencing, boxing, walking, playing, dancing, and grace before I dip the pen in the ink." Okay, first of all, pantomime, that dated him, right? A little bit, 1874 to 1936. No, really something obviously I love is he's talking about gratitude and grace before all of the different things in his world, but look at what his world is surrounded in. When is the last time you have experienced that much hobby or expression in your life where you've chosen that much playfulness? This is just a side note. Are you remembering to play, be in that arena? Because that's a huge gate to gratitude as well, to joy within your heart. So, magical outcomes is where we're going to look at different things that are going to occur in our life that are coming up, and we would like to see them go a certain way. And often, the languaging that I hear people use is, "I hope it goes well. I'm going to need a lot of luck. Wish me luck." Hope and luck stand on top of no foundation. Hope and luck are, it's just a guessing game. I hope, right? I need some luck. But when you look at things through the law of the universe of attracting them towards you, you're practicing in faith. Faith and belief is an assumption that it's going to go a certain way. And when you assume it's going to go a certain way, you're putting an energy out there that's going to support it occurring in that way. And I'm not saying that you get to just assume your world into a certain condition and it's all just going to 1, 2, 3 line up, but it is going to start to line up as you continue this practice. An example would be with Witten's diagnosis, just because I feel like it's so beneficial to provide a more extreme example. When we went to the hospital the first time, I didn't assume any outcome when we were just getting the diagnosis. And upon diagnosis, my continuous assumptions was it was faith and letting go, faith and letting go, faith and letting go, that there is a plan for us. But within that, every single time we would go into scans, I would visualize and see things getting better. They didn't right off the bat. I had to make some adjustments in our care and our type of chemo, our specialists. But as we did, we started to see improvements. So I'm saying this and sharing this because as you're predicting your outcomes and you're asking for magical outcomes, remember that it might not happen exactly as you want it to occur, but it still gets you to the other side, if that makes sense. Life doesn't happen by chance or because of a stroke of luck. The laws of the universe operate mathematically. I just like this reminder to the finest possible degree. A pilot doesn't hope that the laws of physics will keep working during his flight because he knows that physics will never fail. You don't go into your day hoping that the law of gravity is going to keep you on the ground so you don't float off into space because you know that there's no chance that gravity will fail. Remembering that using the law of attraction, this is physics, this is science, the law of attraction, and acknowledging those things is going to support you in your belief of going through the process. So what things could you be concerned about? What things do you have coming up? What do you want to wish upon a magical refund? And there's a huge list here. And I'm going to give you some of these because I think it's supportive if you're going through this practice and thinking about what is the ideal way you want this to unfold and what do you want to have occur for you. It could be a job interview, an exam, a sports game, a phone call. So it's not like it has to be something like huge, like cancer treatment. It could be something so much as a sports game that you want to go a certain way, catch up with a friend, seeing your mother in law, your exercise routine, your vet's appointment, dental checkup, an outcome with an electrician, plumber. We just did this the other day. Our toilet was overflowing all over the lickety bits. It was not pretty and did not smell good, but we magical outcomed our way into all sorts of things. And now plumbing is working great, you guys. Same day, plumbing was working great. That's a lie. Next morning, we had to get another toilet because ours was broken, but it was perfect when we got the right one. A reservation for a restaurant, great seats for a concert, just receiving your mail, maybe doing your emails, your tax refund for the year. It can be any little thing that you have coming up. How would you like that to go? Right away, I know for me, when I'm practicing magical outcomes, because you're going to think of three different scenarios, I think about Wit and John scans that are coming up in April. And I know that there is a lot of trauma and emotions that come with going back to the hospital, getting IVs, going to the room where he's been so many times, where his body's pumped full so that, and liquid for his PET injection and doing his PET scan, his MRI, those things. So I'm already starting now. It's a month away. I'm already starting to visualize the process going smoothly and calmly. I see Witten feeling confident and being supported by us. And I see the needle. Last time he tried to get the needle in his little vein, it was like it took him so many times and he was bruised everywhere. But I see it going in just perfectly, effortlessly, and him getting his sedation in such a wonderful way. And then the MRI presenting no active disease again. So I'm already practicing the visualization for that. And you look at your life, your world, there could be things you want to have a great outcome with for today, for next week, for the next month, or for years from now. You've been working really hard on your marriage and you see this magical outcome of a year from now of the way that you guys show up to your relationship, the magical outcome for excuse me, a program, a studying that you're doing for the new job that you want to get, and the perfect provider, the perfect employer coming in and you landing that job of your dreams. So this is one way to practice. You're going to pick three different things of looking at a magical outcome that you would like to have in your life. And that's for this specific magic practice of the 28 days, but it's something that you want to start to become a part of you. So every time you're facing a situation, you're bringing a joyful, positive energy into it. So you're attracting those positive results back from it. So this practice doesn't end, right? The other side of the practice is looking at how we react when we have unexpected news or something unexpected happens throughout the day. And if you notice this, what I'm about to share, so many of us jump to these conclusions and we write the story in our head that is completely fabricated of worst case scenario, right? You go to the office and they're like, hey, boss wants to see you. Automatically, you're like, oh shit, what did I do? What's going to happen? I might as well pack up my boxes now. I'm probably going to get fired. I can't believe whatever. Like we assume that all of these different things are going to occur. And then you walk in and show up into this meeting with this weird energy and personality, and you're not even who they want to show up, right? You can start to drive how the situation is going to go just because of the way that you showed up, because of how you thought it was going to go down. Where really, maybe your boss was bringing in because they wanted to let you know that the company party was blah, 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 or that you got a bonus or that you're getting a raise. And when you assume a magical outcome on the other side, you walk in with so much more confidence and excitement. Maybe it was going to go the other way. Maybe your boss was going to be like, hey, you didn't so great, you do so great in that last project, but you're like, he's about to give me a raise. He's like, this is going to happen. So you walk in with confidence, chest back. You're like, hey, boss. And you're like, you're feeling great. You're like, you know what? I just want to let you know I got this, this, and this in. And I'm so excited about my position right here. And he's looking at you like, I was just about to let this dude go, but like, he's on fire. Okay, sounds good. I just wanted to tell you, great job. Like, automatically, shifts can occur. That's an immediate shift that can occur. But how often does it happen in your world where you get the phone call? I had a message from my son's school. I open up the email and you have a senior in high school, you could be like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? So you could bring one energy into it or just assume, awesome, going to open up the email, going to get my great news. Open it up, and there's this beautiful share about how my son is really going above and beyond to be a light for one of the other kids who's been having a hard time and is pretty shy. And he just goes out of his way to be nice to this other child. Oh, what thinking about and presuming, assuming this, you don't want to assume often, but when you assume a magical outcome, you can start to bring that into your worlds. Instead of thinking there's a problem, be grateful for the magnificent outcome. So within this practice, you're going to do two different things. You're going to think about things that you just want to occur in the future, just whatever magical outcome you want. And you're going to say, thank you, thank you, thank you for the magnificent, whoa, the magnificent outcome to this, and see what that looks like. Really feel what it looks like on the other side. The other thing is, as you're going through your day, any little twists and turns that you have, assuming that things are going to go well. If you encounter traffic on the way to your work, and I do this all the time in this realm, like if your flight was delayed, if the kids were being so crazy, you left the house later, like something where you're like, oh, that's not ideal. You literally just steered the course of your life in a different direction. Have you ever been driving somewhere and you drive past an accident and you're like, if I would have left 5 minutes earlier, what would have happened? What would the outcome have been? So I make the assumption when things don't go quite right, or the kids are yelling or hollering, or we're late to something, or we miss something, I'm like, you know what? We weren't supposed to be there. That we're set on a certain course for something different. Maybe it occurred so that you could, like, you get into the coffee shop and there's a huge line. You're like, I don't have time for this line. But then you end up bumping into somebody that's going to be supportive in a project that you are wanting to finish. You can create all of this different story in your mind about the magnificent outcomes that are having based upon anything, whether it's just a situation that you know is coming up or a twist and turn in your day. So you also want to try to give thanks and look at the magnificent outcome for 3 different unexpected twists and turns in your day. That's the practice number 21, you guys, for our 28 days of intentional gratitude. Again, this isn't just meant for today. This is meant for moving forward into your life and continuously choosing to see the good that could become so that you walk into your life with a more positive energy, creating more positive opportunities, meet cutes between different humans in your world that are going to support you in moving in the direction that you want to go. The magical outcomes. I hope you guys practice today and from here on out. And if you guys have not done the other practices, go back to the beginning, listen, and remember that the more that you guys live into these, the more that you talk about them, the more that you share about them, the more that you take them on and they become a part of who you are, it's just going to be a natural way of being. People are going to look at you like, why is she so happy all the time? Why does he always have everything go right for him? Why are there magical outcomes surrounding them all the time? It's not an accident. It's not luck. It's not hope. It's faith and complete assumption that this is going to be the way that it is, and it starts to happen in your world. All right. Thank you so much for joining me for another day of the practice. We only have 7 more practices, so get ready for those. I appreciate every one of you. Good job. High five, taking time for yourself today to mentally strengthen yourself and personally find joy. Don't forget that perspective reveals miracles, and we will talk with you guys soon. Bye. Thanks for joining, and don't forget to subscribe and, of course, share with your friends. Guys, that's how we impact more lives. All right, see you next time.